I'm kidding, of course. And whose wacky late-night antics are based on actual cases from the files of the Los Angeles Police Department.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Well, these rodeos are fun, aren't they, Paul? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and bonsoir. Trying to be a little more international tonight because on the program this evening, one of our guests, the internationally renowned Yves Montand. Kiss on the back of my hand, and he said bonsoir. No, that part about the kiss is not true. That was just wishful thinking on my part. But you know, the hell? I learned something fascinating last night from a television show on PBS, Nova or something. It turns out that there is now no injury to an internal organ of the human body, no injury that can occur to the human body that can be repaired for under 20 bucks. Did you realize that as well?
No injury.
No injury that can be repaired, for under 20 bucks. Bonsoir. Ed Koch, the mayor of this wonderful town, responding to criticism that a huge number of his personal appointees have turned out to be corrupt. An angry mayor said today, hey, I'd like to appoint better people, but is it my fault I don't have any honest friends? So I think he's got pretty good point there because... Look at Charlie. You all right, Charlie? That's all right.
He's
Charlie
laid back.
No, I know.
He's laid back.
Bonsoir, Charlie.
Charlie.
Charlie?
Bonsoir, Charlie.
Well, the judge in the Bernard Getz case is expected to grant Bernard now probation on the gun possession conviction on condition that he report his whereabouts to the court every 6 months. He also must dispose of all his legal firearms. And finally, he has to switch to a decaffeinated coffee. So I think that these... This is silent. Yves Montand. It has an S on the end of his name?
Yves.
No, Yves we have.
Yves
we have. And...
merci beaucoup et comment allez-vous?
Mon ami.
Comment allez-vous, Monsieur David?
Oui.
Ah. Très bien, très bien.
Très bien, oui.
Oui.
That's all I know. That and...
feeling very continental this
Oh,
evening.
yeah. Yves, what a guy. This guy is Mr., you know, Mr. Savoir-faire. Thanks,
Mr.
Bill.
Je ne sais quoi, you might say.
Je ne sais quoi. Yes, oui.
You might say.
Anyway, Yves is here, and I told you who's here. Anything else, Paul, we ought to cover before we roll on another one here?
Just roll on.
I do want to let people know that I am currently seeing Bess Meyerson, so thank you very much. Couldn't be happy.
That's working out then. That's working out well.
Turns out her boyfriend was called out of town on business.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing Bess Meyerson.
Well, you can never, you know, a friend
Speaking
like that.
of things that happen in life and romance and wonderful occurrences to a young couple,
Yeah.
I guess that's what we were speaking of, wasn't it? Chris Elliott, who works here and has been with us for a long, long time, and his lovely wife, Paula Niedert, who also worked here for quite a long time, they had a baby girl late last, 2 nights ago, Wednesday, June 16th, 1:37 a.m. The baby girl's name is Abigail, and she weighed 7 pounds, 7 ounces, and oddly enough, it's her birthday is the same as her mother's, Paula's. So we're happy everything is going well for the Chris Elliott family. Congratulations, folks. Anything else?
Should
No,
there
no,
be?
when I say anything else, don't look at me and say...
Should there be something else?
Well, no, a little... Oh, I know. We wanted to check out some new equipment.
Oh, yeah.
People are always whining that we do the same thing night after night on this show. So we have a little variation for you. We have this, of course. We have that. But we also have this... We have the magic late-night reflecting sphere. Now, that's the kind of thing that Yves Montand would like, don't you think?
I know he'll like it,
Yeah,
too,
you
when he
can't
gets out
get
here.
more continental and romantic than that.
That's gorgeous.
There was an item in the newspaper. I guess people pretty much know all about this. Michael Jackson is trying to buy the remains of the Elephant Man, John Merrick. And originally he bid $500,000 for it. Here's an article about it in one of the recent newspapers. Yeah, but he has now upped the offer to $1 million for the bones of the Elephant Man. The reclusive singer yesterday upped the ante to a cool $1 million on his offer to buy the skeletal remains of John Merrick. It goes on here, so he had dangled a $500,000 check stating that he wanted the skeleton for his private collection of curiosities. What collection of curiosities would be complete, by the way, without... The entertainer has read extensively about the Elephant Man and twice has viewed Merrick's remains during visits to London. It goes on to say that he is quite serious about this and he wants to buy the remains of John Merrick. So what we thought we would do here is, I guess the remains of the Elephant Man are now located at London Hospital, where John Merrick spent most of his adult life. So we're going to call over there and chat with him. 011-44-377. Okay. I think it's quite late there in London now. What is it, about 10:30, something like that, 10:40? Is that what time it is there?
5 hours. They're 5 hours ahead.
20 to 11, so it's 20 to 6 here. That would be a 5-hour difference. We're calling the London hospital, and we'll see what we can come up with here. Any music there, Paul?
Sure.
Music for Paul. John Merrick was born in 1863. Did I get all the numbers or not? Am I short a number? Should dial again. All right. Got a lot of numbers. This is an overseas call. Okay. Paul, thank you. Yeah, Michael Jackson first offered them $500,000. We're calling the London Hospital, the medical college there, in London. See if we can't get someone to just chat with a little bit about this. And, of course, tell them about our new reflecting sphere. Okay, Paul. Thank you. There's the ring. Are we hearing the ring now? Yeah. Okay. London Hospital, Medical College there in London. It's about 20 of 11 there in London. It's a great city. Paul, you been to London?
Never been there.
You never? You heard that it swings. So we're waiting for someone to answer the phone there at the... This probably be their busy time of day at the London Hospital, now that the pubs are closed. And okay, in just a few minutes, we will abandon the whole idea and stop the tape. Okay. Boy, about 2 o'clock this afternoon, this seemed like a great idea. Yep. This, of course, just means more time for Yves Montand. Well, I may have dialed the incorrect number. Well, I know it's ringing, but no one's answering. Oh, here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, a smart move, Dave. That was cute. Yes, is this the London Hospital? Hello? Yes, is this the London Hospital? Oh, my name is Dave Letterman. I'm calling from New York City. Can we do a little TV show here? I wonder if I can put your voice on the air. It'll be okay. Huh? Do what? Hello? It's that delay in the satellite. You know, it takes a half a second for it to get up there and then a half a second for it to get down there. Yeah. And you end up talking to yourself like a boob. But I make a handsome living at it. Thank you. Hello. Hello? 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 Well, see, now there's no one there, Paul.
Maybe they'll call back. I don't know.
Hello, yes. Hello. Hello, yes, can I put your voice on the air, ma'am? We're doing a little... You're busy there at the moment. I need to get a message to some people at the medical college. Can I put your voice on the air? It'll take like 2 minutes. Yeah, well, she hung up. So I'm going to take that as a no. Now she hung up. Well, they're not going to get any of my money for those bones. If this is how they treat potential purchasers of the remains, then they're just not going to get any of my business. No. Let that one go. Oh, this was a beautiful idea. 2, you should have seen this afternoon. Nobody even ate lunch. We were all so excited about this one.
What were you going to ask?
Well, we had a thing. I wasn't really going to. I couldn't pay the $1 million, but I was going to offer him $1,800. And then we'd have the remains here on the show every night. And we'd work out some kind of a corporate deal and maybe put some decals on them. And I just wanted to clear that all up.
Jeez, I think it's just as well you didn't get through, I think.
Yeah, that's true, Will. Everything does happen for a reason. And perhaps before our time is done on this planet, we'll learn what the reason was for this falling through tonight. But we have Yves Montand.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. And Sam McGrath. And said, sure, anytime they'd be happy to play along with one of her dumb skits here. International relations are once again great.
Right.
Our first guest tonight...
My great pleasure to be here.
Well, I appreciate that.
I saw you behind the screen, and what you do is really very good. Because, really, because it's not so easy. It looks easy, but it's not so, and
That's
you've
right.
done very well. Okay, finito now.
Well, thank you very much. You know, I like to think, though, that it's really easy, and I make it look difficult. Now, help me out with your name. Am I close? Is it Yves Montand?
Montand, yes.
Montand.
Like if you want Montana without the A in
Oh,
the
I see. Montand. Yves Montand.
Yeah.
Now it's a wonderful name, but I understand it was not the name you were born with, correct?
Yeah. I born in Tuscany. And then we immigrated in France. And when I was 2 years old, and when I'm playing in the street in the suburb of Marseille, the harbor of Marseille, my mother called me at night for take dinner and called me Yves Monta. It means come, house.
Come, does it mean come up the stairs?
Up, that's
yeah,
it.
Come
That's
up,
it.
yeah.
But it was the mixture of Italian and French. And Monta, I came Montant. That is my name. I know that there are some very better, but I like this one. I can help it anyway.
It's a great name, though, don't you think? I mean, it fits you perfectly, and the image and the films that you've been in. I mean, I think it's a great choice.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Yeah. You grew up in, you say, Marseille?
Yes.
Now, what was that like? Being
In the south of France, in the harbor of Marseille, very important harbor. Like, we cannot compare with New York, but it's very important. Like San Francisco, if you want.
Yeah. Did you know then, as a young boy, that you wanted to pursue a career as an actor or in entertainment?
No, when I started, I went in a manufactory to work, and I was 11 years old, 11 and a half years old. It's very young for a man, for a kid to go to work. And then I made a lot of work. I work also with my sister in the hairdresser for women. And it was a small garage, and she called pompously a salon de coiffure. Yes. And then I went to
Salon de coiffure? But it was actually a garage.
Voilà.
Yeah.
That's it. But salon de coiffure means beauty saloon.
Sure.
I think so.
Yeah. And garage means?
A garage was a garage, that's it.
That's right. And were there oily rags and stuff stacked around there?
Have you what?
Oily rags and carburetors and tires and...
No.
What was the first show business related job you had? What was the first performing you did?
I think the first one is always the more important, like a love affair, if you want. And I started in 1938. I was 17 years old. And at that time, we liked the swing, the talk.
Swing music?
Was the rock at this moment.
Yeah.
And I started to make imitation. I sang a song, a French cowboy song, called Dans les plaines du Far West. I asked to the writer and composer, a musician, to compose this song. He was blind. He never saw a cowboy, and then he fixed the song.
Are there cowboys in France?
In the south of France, yes.
Really?
Yes, but they are a Camargue. The people go in horses to catch the bull for fighting in the arena.
Yeah. But did you know about the legend of American cowboys when you were young?
Oh, you know very well, because the people of my generation know better the United States than France or Europe, because we know all the wonderful, I don't know if they are wonderful, but very well-known city like San Francisco, Salt Lake City, Tombstone, and Syracuse, and of course New York, San Francisco, and Washington.
Yeah. So then your first professional job was you sang a cowboy song. You recorded it?
No, I sang just one.
You sung one?
Yeah, just one, yeah.
And did you still remember the song?
Okay. I mean, we think it was a cowboy song. Now I don't know, for you it's a cowboy song.
All right, well, we'll be the judge of whether this is a cowboy song or not.
He made a... Dans les plaines du Far West, quand vient la nuit, les cowboys près du bivouac sont réunis. Ils fredonnent son donneur. Let's see.
Very nice.
And the other voice say bourgeois.
It brings to mind a little Home on the Range, a little bit. I tell you what, we have to do a commercial and then sing.
No,
this was something else.
This something else, yes.
And this was...
in 1946.
1946, and you had a record out of this song. Is that how this worked?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. You've really lived quite a romantic life, haven't you?
Let's say we can say that people know sometimes a very worst life, and I was very fortunate. I knew a very good life. Yeah. I fight like anyone, very hard. Yeah. It wasn't easy to be a man 20 years old when the Nazi was in France, but it's another question. So this is another evening.
Yeah, but on balance, things have worked out quite well for you. Yeah. And talking about a struggle or fighting, when you first made your American film debut, you didn't speak English at the time, right?
Less, almost like now. I mean, but at that time, I wouldn't say one word of English. About telephone, yes, thank you, and orange juice, I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
What was that last thing? I'm sorry.
Orange juice.
Oh, orange juice. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
But you come to this country and you're going to be the star of a film with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
And the film was Let's Make Love. Is that the name of the film?
Yeah.
What year was that? What year was that?
The title, you mean?
No, the year. When did we make that movie?
Oh, it was in 1960.
1960.
60.
All right, now, you don't speak any English at all, or not much, as you said.
So, no, not at all. Not at all.
So how do you make this big film? They're putting a lot of money into this project, and you don't speak English.
No, but I thought that they want a Frenchman to make the part. I heard that some movie star in Hollywood refused to make the part because they don't want to help Mrs. Marilyn Monroe. And I was very pleased and very honored to do the picture with Mrs. Marilyn Monroe. And I suppose like everyone do, if they can do it. And but I didn't speak one in English.
So when we see the film, you are speaking English, right?
Yes.
So how does this happen?
Well, it's something different. I learned the sentences like we learn songs. but I couldn't understand words at all. And
so the whole film...
no, I knew what I'm doing because they give me the translation, of course. But
But what if they were tricking you? What if... That must have been a very frightening experience.
It was for me the most terrifying experience for an actor, yes.
Yeah. Was the movie a big success?
It was a big success in Europe. He got success in America, not so well that they wanted to do, but not so bad.
Yeah. And tell me about working with Marilyn Monroe. Now, there was, I don't even know how to bring this up, but, well, you know, you hear sometimes that when a man and a woman work together on a film closely as co-stars, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm guessing you didn't have to have anybody translate that for you.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. No, it was a pleasant movie. And, that's it.
But there, well, there was. See, I don't even know how far to pursue this, but there was more than the professional relationship there. Was there, or am I completely wrong?
No, it's what they say, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, well, so you have been a very...
No, I'll tell you something. The relationship were very, very, very good because she was afraid for shooting. That is the reality.
She was nervous?
Somebody, no, not nervous. She was really afraid. And I was also afraid because I didn't speak in English like I told you. And
so you were drawn together by that fear.
We held together. That's it. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. No. Without something like this. But now, okay, maybe that our relationships come a little bit more, let's say, tender than usual. Sure. That's it. But what the newspapers put in the newspaper, I think they make a mistake because nobody knows exactly what happened between us and me, her and me, right?
Yeah. And it should be only your business.
Exactly.
Yeah. And forgive me if I was untoward.
No, I understand very well.
And the movie Jean de Florette. Now, this is a great example of a film that could be made probably only in Europe, don't you think?
Oh no, you have done before us.
Oh.
Well, I mean, yes, no, you have done before us. I mean, we can compare a good Western if you want, but this happened in the south of France without gunfire, of course, without...
But it's a simple little story, nicely told. Then that doesn't seem... Those aren't the kind of movies that are made here, generally. It's like Rocky and Star Wars and that sort of thing.
Yeah, they are not so bad, but I like European movies sometimes. They're a very good movie. Sometimes we make a mistake, like in America. And I like this one because there's the story of universal story about the water, how it could be difficult for some country in the world. Water is more important than gold or oil. And
everything's relative. Yeah.
So that's it.
It depends on what you need at the time and where you are.
Exactly.
The film is now in the United States?
Yes, they're going to release the next week. And to be honest, I'm here for make advertising for the movie.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for your time. Yves Montand. Well, life would be a lot easier for us if we were more like Yves Montand.
It's a lot of experience.
Oui. Watch this. I'm just tired of talking about things, so here, take a look at this. Join us tomorrow on Late Night when Dave laughs it up with his special guest.
No first guest book.
Also an unusual television appearance by...
No second guest book.
Plus Paul Schaefer and the band with their musical guest...
African singer and drummer Olatunji.
Performing their chart-busting hit...
Dance to the beat of my drum.
Also scheduled a surprising look at...
No demonstration schedule.
Ah! Oh! Ah! Ow! And a visit from funny man...
Jeff Altman. Last night at dinner I had a butt steak. A great big butt steak.
So mark your calendars, folks, because tomorrow is going to be our best show ever. I don't think anybody gets that.
Why?
I don't think anybody gets that. It's just a generic promotional thing that we put together. You don't get it, do you? I'm not sure I get it either, but that's...
Could promote any show, I guess.
That's right. It could be any show, and then we just drop in.
Yeah, but tomorrow we don't quite know who's going to be on.
That's right. Things are still a little up in the air, but we do know a few things about the show,
Where
which
are you
is
going?
more than we know about tonight's show. Huh?
Where are you going?
I'm going to go in here. We're going to do the top 10 list from the home office in Scottsdale, Arizona, but we're going to show people from whence it comes here on the show. Or from, is it whence or where, Paul?
From whence it came.
Oh, bonsoir. Thank you very much.
Je vous en prie.
Let's go on through here. This is the green room. This is where all of our guests are treated quite luxuriously on a nightly basis. How do you do, folks? Nice to see you. Oh, a bunch of deadbeats. All right. Into the control room. Walk this way, won't you? Well, if I could walk this way, I wouldn't need the talcum powder. Hi, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Hi, Jack. How's it going? Nice to see you.
How are you?
It's Jack Rollins, ladies and gentlemen. My bookie. I was getting a hand. Good for you, Jack. Okay, come on back in here. This is where it comes out every night on this magical machine. And we'll meet the folks in here. We have Carol Mark, who actually operates the top 10 machine, and Carol Collings. What do you do, Carol? What is...
This is the ADA.
This is an ADA machine, and it just pictures come up on this.
Bumpers.
Still pictures. Yeah. As we go to a commercial, you'll see things come up on that. All right. But you're not required for this, are you?
No.
Okay. And this is Carol Mark. This is the woman who every night brings us the top 10 list. And coincidentally, she's from Scottsdale, Arizona, aren't you?
Well,
no,
yeah,
you're not.
we're
Never mind.
no.
We're just playing along here. All right, Carol, this is all of the equipment, and you're going to generate for us a top 10 list. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. In tonight's category, by the way, Bernard Goetz's top 10 pickup lines. The top 10 pickup lines used by Bernhard Goetz. Here we go. Number 10. Excuse me, miss, I was shooting at the gentleman next to you. Number 9, how'd you like to double date with the Sliwas? Number 8, care to dance with an intense gun-toting loner? Number 7, you would have a very curvy chalk outline. Number 6. That's horrible, isn't it? I hate these pistol ranges. They're just meat markets. Number 5, sure, I know Gabe Pressman personally. Number 4, give me a scotch and soda and see what the punk on the floor will have. Number 3, which do you think is funnier, Death Wish 2 or Death Wish 3? Number 2, the evening is young, let's clean up this town. And number 1, thank you, that is a gun in my pocket, and I am glad to see you. There you go. Nice job, Carol. Thanks for all your help. Nice to see you. Carol, nice to see you. Isn't it, Paul?
I never get enough of him on TV.
Very nice man, Jack Rollins.
You're right.
Comes in, always says this. Did Woody call?
You're a manager.
Huh? Yeah.
You're a manager and the
right.
executive producer of
Here
this
we
show.
go. That's right. Our next guest is one of the newest stars in the literary world. She has been writing about the downtown New York art scene for many years, and her bestseller, Slaves of New York. I have a copy of it right here, right there. Has been released now in paperback. It's a pleasure to welcome back to this program author Tama Janowitz. Come on up. Pleasure to see you. Thank you for being here. You look great. How you doing?
Well, good. I decided to dress up this time. This is a dress that my friend Steve Sprass lent me because last time I didn't really dress up, and then a man yelled at me when I was out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who yelled at you?
Something from overhead.
A guy yelled at you because of the dress?
Yeah, he said, "Dave, could you bring her down?"
Oh, yeah, that's that's right.
So I thought this time I'd dress up.
Oh, you look terrific. And your friend Steve gave you that dress?
Steve Sprass, yeah, it has little sequins on it.
I bet he looks good in it, too. But what I wanted to say to you, Tama, was bonsoir.
Oh, thank you so much. And I don't want to forget because I brought you a little present. And I didn't want to forget to give it to you because it was...
We have a can of sardines, a product of Portugal. Sardines in water.
I wanted to see if you could, open it.
Wanted to see if I could open these? Well, of course I can open these. What's the matter with you? You don't think I can open these? You see, now, see what you're doing here, Tama. You're going to take valuable time away from plugging your book here to see me open sardines.
But I'd love to see you open the can.
So what... So in essence, what you're saying now to the publishers of this book is to hell with it.
No, I just had a thing to see if you could, open the can of
Oh, you're
sardines.
goofy. You really want me to open this? Now, will this go anywhere? Will there be a joke here if I open these?
No, it's really, it is on the level. I just thought that I'd like to see you open the can of sardines. Look, you don't have to do it. It was just...
See, now, I guarantee you, when you're home tonight watching this, you're going to be saying to yourself, geez, I wasted all that damn time on the fish. I could have been plugging the book.
I don't know.
Believe me, you will know. All right, then open up the sardines. Oh, God, I didn't. Well, here, there's actually instructions. There you go.
Oh.
So here, we have a key provided for this very purpose right here. Or do you have difficulty opening sardines?
Terrible problem.
What happens? How about a drum roll, Anton?
You're right, I was a fool.
You know, if you're having trouble opening cans like that, maybe you need a checkup. Because it's just not that tough.
Maybe not for you.
And now I have sardine juice all over me.
Oh, no, well, I have...
I hope Yves Montand doesn't see me like this. Ooh, boy, is that... Wow, these are sardines, aren't they? Kitty, 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 kitty. Now, Tama, you know, a couple of months ago, I got my Sunday paper, and there in the magazine section of the New York Times was an article written by you, right?
Oh, well, yeah, the New York Times, and they said, could you go to Los Angeles and interview Bette Midler? And I tried to explain that I'm not a journalist, and by that I mean I don't really have any questions to ask. But if I would go out and just see what it was like and get to speak to her, and they said, fine, so they sent me out there, and my dream was to see the La Brea tar pits, because, you know, like, in New York we have the Statue of Liberty, which is a big statue.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're all familiar with the Statue of Liberty, but...
In Los Angeles, they have the La Brea tar pits, and
right.
so when I got to
they're prehistoric.
Yeah.
Primordial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I asked the taxi driver to take me to the La Brea tar pits, but it was the same as in New York because he didn't speak English, and he said, oh, you want to go to La Brea Carpets.
La Brea Carpets.
He thought I wanted to
It was
get
a remnant store.
Yeah. And so he started driving, and then he realized he didn't know where it was, so he asked another cab driver, and the man thought I wanted to go to the car pits to get my car repaired, and no, I kept screaming, the tar pits, the tar pits. And so I started driving and driving, and it's like New York, but the taxi is like $10, $15, $20, $30, and I didn't have a car. I was in a taxi.
Yeah.
And so finally, we got to this like pit by the side of the road, like a muddy pond, and
Yeah, it's on Wilshire Boulevard near the Los Angeles County Museum, I think, isn't it?
yes, yes, David, it was. And I said to the people, that were walking by the side of the pond, excuse me, could you tell me where the tar pits are? And they said, well, this is it. And so I got out of the car, and it was this big pond, like an old polluted pond, and have a giant plastic mammoth in the pond. It's the mother mammoth, and she's become stuck in the tar.
Right.
And on the shore is the father and the baby because the mother is stuck in the tar. And so I got to go in there, and they have places of bones, like cat bones, rat bones, pig bones, all these, and then you got to see a little movie, and it was like the story of the Los Angeles before it was Hollywood.
Sure, millions of years ago. But weren't you impressed by not so much the presentation of the tar pits, but the fact that there was still a place on this planet where tar bubbles up out of the core of the Earth? Yeah.
Well,
There,
yeah,
you sold
when
me.
You saw the film, and it was
Let's enjoy some of these sardines while we take a look at this important message from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back. Tama Janowitz. Now, you're traveling around now promoting the book, right?
Yeah, well,
You travel by yourself, or you go with a huge entourage of publishing weasels?
No, they've really been great to me,
Yeah.
and they just reissued this one, which was my first book in time for Father's Day. That's American Dad, about a psychiatrist who accidentally goes to his ex-wife's house because he's tired of paying her alimony, and she's a poet, so she sends out her poetry manuscripts, and she has to weigh them, and so he knocked the postage meter off the shelf, and he killed her. And
Did the book do well the first time it was published? So now...
But now it's for Father's Day.
Yeah.
And so then, but then he had to go to jail, and so he was released on the weekends. But see, it was during the 60s, and he heated his house with wood-burning stoves and everything, and so he maimed himself in a chainsaw accident. But because of that, he was reunited with his son, because the father was like very sexual, and he had all these like sexual escapades, but the son could never live up to the father, and so, but they were reunited.
So
and then this one is,
it's about Dad, but it's actually fun for the whole family.
yeah.
Now, let me ask you about these ads that I've been seeing. This is kind of strange to find you in a position of actually out there huckstering products, don't you think?
It pays a lot more than when you go and you give a reading. And they, I did this with Arthur Schlesinger Jr., and sometimes I was wearing an evening dress and everything, and it was for Rose's Lime Juice, but sometimes I felt like it was like a soft porn shoot, because then Annie Leibovitz kept saying, pull your dress up, and he was sitting there, but then I realized it was an ad, so they wouldn't pick the most erotic.
Probably
but see,
not,
it worked out well because it was for Slaves of New York, and then they just brought that out in paperback. And
But see, now you heretofore were kind of a chronicler of life. You would observe the human condition, and you would come and go in the shadows. And now you're right out there in front. You're saying, I'm selling my success here for
a few pittances.
Well, yeah, don't you think?
Well, no, because I say that that's my evil twin, because me, I'm just sitting at home typing, and this other person goes out and just does the work.
Now, here's another one. This is you and some kind of hooch there. What is that?
That's for amaretto, which is like some type of liqueur, and it tastes like almond flavor.
But do you drink it?
Well, they sent me a lot of bottles.
But do you drink it?
And you could pour it on ice cream.
Yeah,
and
I know. But have you ever had the... Yeah. Do you like it?
Well,
you ever get a load on from this stuff?
I'd do some Scotch ads or vodka, and especially after this, even some beer.
Now, hey, so how are other things? How is your private life, your personal life?
Well, I have no more personal life, but ever since I did your show before, and they sent me out all over the country, and then they put you on these shows, and there's like, it's 7 in the morning, and you're in a new city, and you don't know what's happening, and there's like a comedian saying, I have a penis this big, and it has Excedrin written all over it, and you don't know what's going on. And
7 in the morning?
And then they put you on these shows, and it's like another person, and she's written a book about her cow because she had a yogurt industry business, and then they've got you on these shows with ladies promoting chastity and teaching you how to make walnut carrot soup, and then by the time the trip is over, it's really...
It's an interesting existence, isn't it?
Well, it's more fun than writing, because when you write, you just sit there and you're typing, and it's really hard and boring. And
yeah, I know, but you must be working on something else, because to perpetuate this, you've got to go back and write up